That is the member for Bowman.
Thank you, Speaker. My question to the Treasurer. Will the Treasurer inform the House how the Morrison government's unprecedented economic support, including the Job Seeker Supplement and the JobMaker Hiring Credit, is meeting the challenge of the COVID-19 recession and providing real assistance to Australian families and helping businesses to create jobs?
The Treasurer has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Bowman for his question, acknowledge his contribution to the medical profession before he came to this place and his deep commitment to improving Indigenous health and mental health.
Shortland.
Mr Speaker, the member for Bowman and others on this side of the House acknowledge the fact that there's been a once-in-a-century economic shock, an economic shock that saw 1.3 million of our fellow Australians either lose their jobs or saw their working hours reduced to zero at the start of the pandemic. In the June quarter, we saw GDP down by 7%, a record fall, Mr Speaker. But importantly, the economic recovery is now underway. 446,000 jobs have been created in the last 4 months. Consumer sentiment had its biggest increase in a budget month since the series first began back in 1974. Australia's AAA credit rating has been reaffirmed. Last week, the Governor of the Reserve Bank of Australia said our fiscal strategy was the right fiscal strategy, Mr Speaker, and we were on the right track. And I can confirm to the House today that today consumer confidence is up for the 10th straight week, Mr Speaker, at an 8-month high, Mr Speaker. And business confidence is up by 9 points, up for trade, up for transport, up for construction and up for mining. Now, Mr Speaker, our measures that we have introduced have helped support that recovery. Measures that contribute around 26%, or the equivalent of 26% of GDP. JobKeeper, we have got $70 billion out the door, Mr Speaker. The cash flow boost, $32 billion out the door, Mr Speaker. The coronavirus supplement, $15.6 billion out the door, Mr Speaker. Two $750 payments to pensioners and carers, more than $9 billion out the door, Mr Speaker. And the one that they don't like to acknowledge, but we on this side of the House, allowing Australians to access their own super, more than $36 billion out the door, Mr Speaker, helping to support the economic recovery.
Members on my left.
Access to their own money. And today we took another step forward. Today we took another step forward by extending the Job Seeker Coronavirus Supplement at $150 out to the end of March at the cost of $3.2 billion. Another measure, Mr Speaker, which will help provide support to those who need it, Mr Speaker. Economic support to help get Australians back into jobs, economic support to help our economic recovery, economic support to help Australians right across the country to get through the biggest crisis in the last century.